Hey guys, welcome to my channel Rapid Literature. Today's topic is We Are Not Afraid to Die from Hornbill. So let's start. This story by Gordon Cook and Alan East is about a 37-year-old businessman who sets on a voyage with his family. The story speaks about the turmoil and hurdles that he faces during his journey. Before starting with the story, note down few key points to follow up properly. His wife's name is Mary. His son, Jonathan, of 6 years old. His daughter, Suzanne, is of 7 years old. Also note down the details about the parts of ship. Mast, a tall upright structure on ship. Stern, back end of ship. Hatch, opening in floor of ship through which goods are lowered. Decks, a floor of a ship. He starts his journey in July 1976 with his family, his wife Mary, son Jonathan, and daughter Suzanne. The ship in which they were traveling was named as Wave Walker, 23 meters, 30-ton wooden hull. They were heading towards east, and before that they took more crewmen, American Larry Vigil and Swiss Herb Segler, as they were going on the toughest water, the Southern Indian Ocean. The author talks about the second day of the voyage in Cape Town, where they face irregular winds. The author was not worried about the irregular winds, but the waves, which height was increasing up to 15 meters. Then they describes that how they were celebrating on 25th December until they were trapped under bad weather, which was worsening. Though the situation was quite under control, the impending danger hit them on 2nd January. The author then describes how the waves were taking gigantic forms on 2nd January, and by 6 p.m. in the evening, they were facing the danger. They mistook one big wave to be cloud, which brought their danger closer. Can you imagine how big the wave would have been if it's compared to a cloud? Consequently, the water was filling in the ship, which convinced the author about the close proximity of their death. Not only the author and his family, but also the crewmen were suffering and struggling through this danger. The author asked his wife to manage the wheel. In the meanwhile, the two crewmen, Larry and Segel, were trying to pump out the water from the ship. While the author was struggling to fix the deck, he learned that their hand pumps were broken. Fortunately, he found an electric pump with which he tried to pump out all the water from the ship. Their ship was sinking and everyone was trying their best to save it. Suzanne's head was swollen and she had a deep cut on her arm, but she didn't bother anyone, because everyone was busy saving everyone's life, and she didn't want to disturb them. On 3rd January by morning, the water level was under control. They survived for 15 hours until another big wave hit them. They were now sure that it was impossible for them to reach Australia. Isle Amsterdam was the nearest island. They tried their best to reach that island because that was the only hope for survival. In the meanwhile, the author gets to know that their auxiliary engine has broken. On 4th January, they had somehow managed the situation and drew it under control. Mary collected some corned beef and crack biscuits, which was their first meal in 2 days. But the halt was of very short time. By 4 p.m., the weather started worsening again and the wind was back at 40 knots. It was impossible for them now to reach Australia. By the dawn of 5th January, the situation was again fragile. John asked his father whether they were dying, but also adds that they are not afraid of dying. This speech from John motivated the author and prevented him from losing hope. On 6th January, finally their ship was out of the storm. Sue gave a card to the author which was made by herself. On the front page of the card, she drew the caricature of Mary and the author. On the front of the card, she wrote, "Here are some funny people. Did they make you laugh? I laughed a lot as well." And inside the card, it was written, "Oh, how I love you both." So this card is to say, thank you and let's hope for the best. It was 2 p.m. that the author went on the deck and instructed Larry to steer the wheel to 185 degrees. It was the author's prediction that by that they can reach that island somehow. By 6 p.m., John and Suzanne came to inform the author that they have finally seen the glimpses of the island. The author then rushed on the deck to witness the beauty of the island. It was a piece of volcanic rock with some greeneries. They anchored there for the night and by the morning they were welcomed by 28 inhabitants of the island. This was how the author saved his family and the crewmen from the dangerous voyage. The fight of the author against the adventurous yet troublesome voyage shows us that we should never lose hope. We should always fight against the hurdles and don't sit back. It also shows that how his children had faith in him and they had a unity among them. The story gives us a learning about fighting with whatever life gives you till your last breath. Don't lose hope. Keep fighting. Maybe the good result is waiting for you. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe it. And please drop your comment in the comment box below. Thank you. Happy learning.